Welcome to Awakening 101. I'm Jeremiah, and this...
Oh, I'm Chaz.
This is Chaz. Today, we're talking about something that we've been designing for quite some time. Actually, only like a month or two. I'm not really sure. But it's been in the works, in the astral, in the realms for a while, and I believe that's why this podcast was created. Today, we're talking all about the alignment center, known as the pyramid. Dude, I was that kid that could not stop talking, could not stop figuring out what was for breakfast, what was for lunch, what we're going to do today. Wait, what's for dinner? Can I have ice cream? This, blah, 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 blah. Dude, my grandmother was like, where's the whip? Where's the belt? Get on my lap.
My brother just beat the shit out of me.
Dude, yeah, your parents are like,
fuck up.
We don't even need to beat you because your brothers do it for you.
I always laugh because they'd always come in the room and I'd have some like device broken the fuck open and they'd be like, what did you do? And I'm like, I just wanted to see what was inside of it. And they'd be like, God.
Was it one of their devices?
Dude, it could have been, yeah.
Probably every
Most
time.
of the time it probably was.
Yeah.
My brother talks about it all the time. He's like, dude, you couldn't stop just ripping shit open. And then you tell me all the time you just want to see what was in it.
It makes sense now. At least you haven't technically, I don't think, done that to a body in which you...
No, I
Unless
realized...
it's a cadaver, that's fine.
I realized very quickly that blood makes me like squirmy.
Perfect.
So,
That was
like,
written in your DNA.
Yeah, dude. Like my dad would bring me in to see him just sew people up. But like I saw this dude's skin just like flapped over the
His skin
knee.
flap.
And like... I like literally sat there and I was like, I'm good.
You're like, holy.
And then I was like, I'm going to faint, actually. I think I'm going to faint. Like, I didn't have any negative.
Falling.
It's weird. I never had any negative thoughts. I never freaked out.
Like
I didn't panic. I wasn't like, oh, God, no. Oh, God. I was like,
right.
I mean, yeah, that's like, but like, dude, I started to go. I thought I was going to faint. I was like, dude, I'm getting dizzy. I can't do this. I just looking at it.
It's strange how that works, that you didn't overreact about it, yet you still had
I tried to force myself to watch it. I was like, this isn't that bad. I just don't, it's uncomfortable. And then it was like, dude, this is more than uncomfortable. I'm going to pass out.
Why is
the nurse
that?
had to take me out and fucking sit me down and give me water. My dad was like, yo, you are going to pass the fuck out.
Interesting.
Like, I don't know what it is. He even said that day, he was like, yeah, you're definitely one child of mine that is not made for this. Because, like, my brother's a neurosurgeon. You think he does with brain shots.
Right. Like,
Just
does he see the goo and the ooze and all the things? He sees all of it, right?
He is a level 1 trauma for the brain. So you get shot in the head and you get flown into the hospital, you're seeing my brother.
Damn. I would assume he has seen, like, the whole skull being cut open and, like, the skull pop out and shit like
Dude,
that.
the way he talks about it sometimes is so wild. He's like, yeah, you just, like, sometimes you just know that they're going to die, and you're just trying to, like, mitigate. Maybe try to help or something, but he's like, but you pretty much know this is not going to happen.
Damn. And you
Like,
just have to...
Yeah,
you just
try to do
chill
what you
about it.
can,
It's
and
like,
you get in the moment.
I'll
He's
try,
like,
man, but...
Yeah, that's pretty much... They only do what they can in those moments, but, like, yo, you're fucking half your brain's gone. What are they going to do? What is he supposed to do?
Stitch it back together.
Yeah, like, regenerate that shit real quick, hurry.
I mean, we are in 2025.
And he's like, they're just pretty much brain dead, and we just see if we can just keep the body alive. You know, but like, I can't do that. I'm not designed for that shit, dude. Fuck that. That's awful, man. Holy shit. I would faint every day, dude.
Speaking of 2025, did you realize that this year is number 9? 5 plus 2 plus 2 equals 9. And what is 9?
Closure.
It's closure. Shit's happening, dude. It would make sense why 2025 is such a intense year for a lot of things to be happening.
God damn, dude. That's wild.
So 26 on is just going to be...
That's wild.
Nuts. What is 12? Would 12 be wild? Would 12 be crazy?
12 is next octave. 12 is 3. So we're back to 0. We're back to 1 again, in a sense. Think about it like that. But we're at the next level of it.
We moved
We move forward to the next version, next set, next cycle.
When is 12? 7 or 8? No. Might be 9.
Well,
9, 10, 11.
You want to look for 3
So
again,
it would be
right?
8. It would be 2008. 2028.
2028 would be...
Oh, were you looking for 3, not 1?
Yeah, dude, you look for 3.
Oh.
Because you would be 369, 369, 369.
Yeah,
but it's
right.
cycles. You want to keep track of the cycles, I guess, at that point. You know, like how many times you keep doing this.
Well, the 12...
You could count up if you want. You could do like 12, 15, 18, and just keep doing it if you really wanted to.
But it's still just that
But
same,
it's really just
it's the same
369 over and
cycle.
over again.
Right.
Yeah. So like you go to 9, you're just going to go right back to 3, but you're at the next cycle of it, which is the next... In music sense, it's the next octave up.
Do you not count the 12 or the 1? Are you just going straight to 3 and not even acknowledging?
Depends on what you have to now. This is the base 360, base 60 concept. You now have to decide which base modification of it do you want to stick with, then stick with it. So are you going with 369, 369, or are you going 369, 12? Well, now you have to go to 15. You can't come back now.
Yeah. Okay.
You got to just keep going. You know? So like,
I understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
But like, even then, I would say that if you're going to break down the number to its base digit, 369. You don't
Because
look,
12 is 3.
You don't.
There's a reason my life path number.
15 is 6. 18 is 9. It's just retelling the story over and over again. And that's why you can break it down to just 369. This is what there's actually like real math. This is the resonance language you're talking about. And that's real math that Tesla was alluding to. When he said 369, that's like a closure statement of this triadic way of our universe working, where it always goes open, flow, close. Open, flow, close. Open, flow, close. And we just keep doing this.
That's our life, isn't it, too? Open, flow,
Birth,
is the life.
death.
Yeah.
Birth, life, death. Everything does in threes.
Dude,
it's the magic thing.
I was talking to my sister yesterday, and we got into open, flow, close, and started going down the rabbit hole of the fact that our death rituals, how we're buried in coffins and embalmed and all these things, is not the real way we're supposed to detach from this reality. It's not the right way to close this ritual, this cycle. They've taken that and they rewrote it to make sure that it's not done properly. That's a whole fucking thing on its own. Plus, we're not being given back to the earth, for one. Whether it's your ashes from being incinerated, what is it called when you...
cremation.
When you get cremated, you toss the ashes into the earth or leave them in an urn. But, either way, you toss it back to the earth, you're coming back to Mother Nature.
Yeah.
You get stuck in a box. You just deteriorate into the box. You turn into nothingness and float away into the ether, I guess.
Those boxes are designed to like never just go away.
And they're really expensive.
Yeah, dude,
so like you can think it's all a money scam, but in actuality, it's a multi-layered reasoning behind why we're putting caskets by the end of it. And they can say it's because we don't want bodies floating back up to the surface or whatever when in mud and stuff. They're like, no, you're going to deteriorate. The earth will eat you. It needs us, but we don't give it the satisfaction. We don't.
We're all made of the same thing. So just go back one with it.
Yeah.
You're disconnected from that body now.
It's ridiculous, dude. I'm convinced that our closing rituals are not.
I wonder what ours are going to be like,
Probably wild. I don't know.
I almost like, do I even trust that people will do it that way?
I'm going to make sure
I'm dead, so.
Either way, I think some kind of fire is a good way to go.
I feel like getting rid of the body might be important.
Right, you're detaching the entanglement.
Yeah, it's like fully getting rid of that attachment to it so that you no longer have it anymore. And like the longer you keep that body there, it holds on.
Right, and you still go back to spirit realm and stuff when you don't have the proper closure. You still go back, but it's almost like a karmic cycle or loop that you're still attached to that physical body. Your energy source is still attached to it because it didn't get proper closure. I wonder if you burn the bones, if you would detach from it. Actually, I could imagine so.
It's like all the water in you is supposed to be magnetically aligned to your frequency. And that's how you are connected with it. This is what I'm kind of feeling like science is leading me towards, is that connection is through the water, the water system. And that's like a complicated thing to say, though, is like I blanketed the shit out of that one. Like that.
A little bit.
Yeah, like what that actually means is totally different. But like you are made of water at the fundamental level. So at the lattice level, the very fundamental part, at the quantum core of you, you are aligned in a direction. The lattice has to be aligned in a direction.
Yeah.
And it's misaligned from the universe, but aligned in your own way, but it's still what it is. So you're just having this like weird connection. And it's like all this weird frequency, magnetic alignment shit that I still barely can comprehend on how this, because this is the core of phase shifting and phase navigation and astral projection. Like all of them are playing with this alignment and this structuring.
Yeah.
They're all fucking with it. And you become healthier, apparently, if you can align better with the cosmic flow.
I don't even consider it apparently. I think that's 100% real, dude. Like, absolutely.
If that were to work, how?
I noticed my skin glowing more when I started becoming healthier, meditating, and aligning. It's
so,
retuning, man.
There has to be a science behind that. And you say retuning, you're tuning what? You're tuning the actual connection in the actual biology of the water in your structure.
I was about to say you're affecting the vibrational frequency of your water inside too, though. Like, all the mantras and things that you like that's the universe's mantra. That is the one, that's like the high crown kundalini mantra that you're supposed to chant. And that one resonates and vibrates your water like nothing ever does.
Because of like a vortex purifies water.
Purifies it.
It structures it, makes it very strong, very coherent, remembers its structure well, keeps shit out. And so if you have a vortex going and you can make it strong, well, then you're like cleaning. And that's really all your like whole breathing would be then.
Oh, right, because you can create vortexes within you, right?
That's what that is.
Yeah.
As you breathe, is you're creating that inside, and it like grows out of you and bigger and smaller and shit. But that's really what you're sustaining.
But Chaz, that's crazy. I can't see the vortex.
Yeah, I know, man. Flat Earth.
I can't see it.
But like, yeah, that's the problem though. It's like I can't see the energy between my hands, but that's what I'm doing. I'm taking a vortex out of the water or the substrate and playing with it in my hands now.
I've come to realize that seeing is not believing, and believing is not seeing.
Observation is not fucking proof, dude.
It just isn't.
It's an illusion.
Yeah.
And you can believe it sometimes. And you know, it's funny the way now that like the deeper in the science I've gotten, that like alignment taught me observation is not proof. Measurement is interaction, and therefore it destroys. So when you measure something, you're destroying. And the way that it's now kind of refined that idea is that no, measurement is filtering. You're going to filter out the interaction into a new interaction. And now you depending on how that filter is made, the measurement depends on what happens afterwards. Whoa. It's not random. It's very defined, actually. It becomes, what the fuck are you measuring with? Well, then you're going to see this happen, probably. It's called interacting with something. And by interacting with it, you inherently are going to change it.
Interesting.
You can't actually see what was going to happen. It's like the wave function, and you just collapsed it. That's what they say is like, we don't know, it's just there, and we don't know what it is, we just know it's a wave, so we'll run this wave function on it, and now we collapsed it, it's gone now. But we now know one thing about it, we do know something about it. It's like, you only know anything about it because you had to like shoot something at it and measure it, you know?
And now it's mainstream, boom.
Yeah.
But there was no fact, proof, or nothing.
Dude.
I'm like, cool.
Our eyes are deceiving as fuck.
That has been an ancient saying, dude. Your eyes will deceive you. They always do. That's why blind people are so much more in tune with everything. And blind people can probably see very well with all of their other senses.
Dude, if you could start like getting the sense of the energy going on around you at all times because you can't see anymore and you can just like feel and understand it.
You start seeing differently.
Yo, I now understand why people may not want to I'm like, wow, those people, like, how do they want to live? I now start to understand it a little bit better. If you're like, dude, I couldn't go without seeing. Right. Now that I think about it, I'm like, it would suck to go that way now.
It would, but you could also teach yourself how to see the...
But I think it would only just reinforce the going within and trying to feel everything.
Yeah.
You know?
So there's a show I watch. It's called Rebels. It's a Star Wars show. And one of the characters in the show, in like season 2, is blinded. He ends up having some kind of spark of a lightsaber that like flashes his eyes and he can't see anymore. And he finally comes in contact with the Bendu, the dark and the light. He's the balance between.
Yeah.
And the Bendu teaches him and shows him that you don't need your eyes to see. And now Kanan can see very clearly everything around him, just not the way you and I see. He sees energies and things. And, you know, people forget that he's blind because of this. You know, he is still blind. Yeah, he cannot just sit there and see things. But the energies he knows and is so much more in tune with everything because he taught himself and was taught how to see everything.
If everything is wave vibration, then we should be able to attune to it a little bit better than we are right now.
There's actually a training that I've seen with kids where they put on something called a mindfold mask. They put it on, they can't see anything, and they teach the kids how to see without seeing. And the kids know what colors are, where things are. They navigate little obstacle courses, all with this mindfold mask on.
That's cool.
They are literally in Jedi training.
You know we're starting a Jedi school.
Absolutely.
It's gonna happen.
I told my sister that yesterday. I said, imagine a Jedi temple meets Percy Jackson in a way.
That's another part of the campus, by the way.
Dude,
main campus, research and development
bro.
Campus, and then a very hard to get to special Jedi campus. You can't just stumble into this motherfucking place.
That thing's going to be awesome.
It's going to be hidden. You will have to just know how to get there, or you don't get.
Underground city.
Or it's above you, floating.
There you go. It's a Jedi temple above you.
Like, how do you get there?
Like, you might have
If you were a Jedi, you'd fucking know, wouldn't you?
You just hop on the clouds and ride them all the way up.
You turn around and you turn back around, they're just like gone. You're like, son of a bitch. I missed it.
I missed my ride. Damn it. Send the helicopter. I was talking to her yesterday about like a lot of this stuff. And she brought up the concept of air conditioning and like not assuming we wouldn't have air conditioning in our
Why not?
camp, I guess. I told her, I was like, well, we would have free energy, so we could technically have AC. But I do see where you're coming from, where like if you want to return to the earth and be one with the earth, technically, like, yeah, you can't be cushy having AC in everyone's house where you just in the summer, in the summertime, you just sitting there. Well, I don't want to go outside because it feels good in here. You know, like returning to earth means embracing everything. So I didn't really know. I didn't think about it. I haven't thought about AC at all within it, but I wanted to know what you think about how that would go. Because do you know what I mean?
Oh, totally.
Because that's what makes us cushy. We don't want to go outside because of the bugs and the AC that we have on the inside.
There's two parts to this. There was actually a cultural shift that took place that I noticed that I actually like researched into at one point about when AC came out and what it did.
I mean, it did a lot, and we don't know
everything. Everybody used to be on their front porch, and communities used to be outside, and people used to be way closer. It actually closed the doors, shut the windows, and brought everybody inside and locked communities down.
And that's where her mind is. She's like, I would imagine not having.
Now, on the other side of this, I totally understand that people want to be comfortable. And so, like, then it becomes I already know enough to know that there are ways to heat things and cool things based on natural geometry, natural just shape and sound and structure and way you do things, the way you would channel air and wind and stuff like that, and the way that you would there's things that we can do, and I know that I haven't learned all of them yet, but I just know there are ways to cool things and heat things that we don't think about that are natural. And so you can have this same idea.
Right.
And then at the same time, you have a home in our energy island. Well, you're going to have power, and you can do that if you want to in your own. Like we'll have areas that you can't, but we will have areas where I don't think you should just start taking away modern society.
I know, but also imagine people wanting to bring their phones and technology into this thing. Like all of this stuff, it has to go.
Well,
this is the biggest issue, or all these comfortabilities.
Yes
right?
and no. All right, so we can still bring cell phones in here. Here's the real problem in my head that I kept working through is like, okay, well, hold on. If we just put up our own tower and start shooting energy out, are we doing anything better than they're doing? That's what they're doing. It's not the phone that we really have problems with in my head. We're being consumed with it. We're on a sea of their energy.
Oh, I didn't mean towers. That. I meant what phones do to people.
And all right, so this is where I would say that
doom
like
scrolling, the fame, the influencers.
That's a mentality.
Sure.
I don't say that what you can and cannot do with your shit. What I say is that you can't be in that mindset and be here.
Yeah, right.
This is a place of a different... But once you get in here and you're in our mindset, dude, I use my phone all the time. I don't care if you're on your phone. I don't care what you do. I really don't. But you need to be in this mindset, which means that you naturally won't do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
If you're in that with us, well, then that's not a thing. And if we find out it's a thing that you're like just mindlessly bleeding away, you got to contribute. You got to get in here and start doing shit with
exactly.
us. You got to make this thing happen.
If no money exists, your wealth becomes your contribution to the community is what it becomes. It's no longer how much money can I make to be as powerful as I can. No, it's what can you do for the community to keep living here.
Yeah.
Because at a certain point, you will have everything you need and you won't need or want for anything. You'll just be able to do the things that you want to do. Imagine sitting on your couch being like, man, I don't want to go to work tomorrow. I wish I could just do this thing to make money instead. Imagine that, but not wanting to do it for the money part.
Yeah. You won't have to be a slave to bills at that point.
It's just living life.
Kind of just start to live and do what you want. And therefore, if you want to do some doom scrolling for a night, this is where I'm like, I don't really care what you fucking do as long as you're in the end contributing. You just got to get out there and keep contributing.
And I think you would notice a shift in someone's, I don't know, energy.
Well, in the early days, we will be really strict about it.
I think
we will
so too.
have to, because we're going to have to set a fucking culture real early, real quick, so that we don't allow that in. Like, hey, that person's not doing their shit.
Yeah.
Well, then we got to go fucking see what this is all about.
We do.
We can't do that. And we can't allow that negative shit, because then people get lazy. People get like, whatever. I'll fucking do whatever.
Exactly.
Then.
You're living for free. You don't have to do anything. Well, you do have to do stuff, but
we still have to have food.
You don't have to make money. But exactly, it's going to be imagine farmers and then chefs, cooks, and things.
It's like eco-villages.
You'll have unlimited food, but you're not going to have unlimited food as in I'm going to go be fat and just eat everything that I see. That's not what this is. It's more of a take what you need.
Hey, I'll make sure you guys have energy.
Yeah.
Can you help me get some food? Does that kind of make sense? Like,
exactly.
I'm going to make sure you're taken care of energy-wise and everything's good here. And if you need anything, you call me. I'll come help you take care of that problem at your house or whatever. But, like, can y'all have the food taken care of so we can come get some food? Like, that kind of... we're all in this together based on what you want to do. And the more people who just want to do what Iran really did say it really well in her book. And that fucking book is coming more true by the day. But she even said that, like, people should be actually very fucking greedy, very selfish. Because in the end, this is like, I love, she was so blunt about the way she said it in the book of like, if people truly do what it is they want to do, what they love to do, they will do it better than anybody else would have, and they will now contribute more to society by doing it. More people will benefit because they were selfish and did what they loved to do.
Well, explain being selfish and greedy a little bit more, because that's a low vibrational energy.
I'm being selfish by going after free energy because I'm taking time to go do that when I should be making money over here or paying this bill over here. And I should be helping everybody and not just focused on like doing this stupid, silly thing.
Yeah.
Get in society. Come join us. What are you doing?
I don't know. That doesn't really explain what you said. What you said sounds like a low vibrational status. Like you're looking...
Because of the wording.
Yeah, exactly.
Because of the wording. I use selfish and I use greedy. And so you thought immediately, and that's why
because how do we look at selfish and greedy people now? Like that's why all we see.
She was so harsh about the way she said things. And that's why, but like once I understood what she was saying, it started to make sense to me.
Well, explain it in a way that makes sense to
you in modern society. Stop listening to what people tell you. You should probably go do because that's what's going to make you money. Hey, yeah, I get it. You like to make music. That's not going to do anything for you. Go be a lawyer.
Right.
No, that person loves music. Let them go do music. They'll make better music now because they love to do it than if anybody else gets taught into going to do it.
Right.
Like, don't force people to go do things.
So what is that? Selfishness?
That's the selfishness of the person should say, hey, I'm going to be selfish and I'm going to go do it. Because
I don't see that as selfishness, though.
You don't. And she was coming from an aspect of the book of like, society and government are fucking telling you what to do.
Yeah.
Go fucking be selfish and go what you want to do.
Okay, that's explaining selfishness.
You do what you want to do.
Understandable.
Stop letting society and the government and all the people around you decide what you want to do. You go be fucking selfish. You go do what you want to do. And that's the way she was trying to portray it in the book is like everybody's piling down, trying to make you do it their way.
Right.
And like the whole book, the main character keeps going through this where everything she's trying to want to do, everybody's like, stop doing that, don't do that. And she's like, but that's what should be done. Because I love this and I know that's what should be done. And it was like, go do that then.
Okay, what about greedy?
That's the selfish, greedy, be greedy in what you're gonna fucking go do. Be the greediest motherfucker about making it accomplish. It's almost like I would relate it to you in the podcast of like, be greedy about knowing how this podcast is supposed to be lit and how we're supposed to do it. Be fucking selfish and greedy about it.
Yeah.
Because you have the eye and you know what it's supposed to do and you know and you love it, so you fucking go after it. And you don't have to be an asshole about it. You don't have to be like, yo, fuck you, bitch.
Those words have way bad connotation behind them.
They do. And that's why I almost like using them because I'm trying to like almost make this idea as like, yo, those words have been created to seem that way.
I mean, it's just like a lot of things, right?
Correct. And so I want to bridge the gap on like, yo, selfishness isn't always bad. It's not always bad.
No.
You can be selfish and help a lot of people. You know what I'm saying?
This is true. It just depends on the connotation in which you're being selfish.
What's the intent?
Yeah.
What is
everything is intention at that point, you know? Like it truly is.
Yo, she was trying to say it. She was just trying to say, everybody go do what you want to do.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to be limited by people telling you what to do.
And that's what this alignment center is going to be, man. It's going to be a part of the community doing what you love doing. You know, my sister is going to be a huge part in it. She's going to have one of the biggest homesteads there. She's going to be funding the food that we have. She'll have helpers and things. And
that's what we need.
Like all of these things are already being built without anyone knowing it. Salim, what is he going to be?
Oh, I don't know.
A fucking herbalist on top of many other things. Like he's going to be a healer and this and that. Like
he'll be overseeing these pockets of things going on.
Yeah, and there's other people in our lives or haven't realized in our lives that are going to and have been working towards their mission and goal in the alignment center, and they don't even know it. And my sister had no idea. That's why she's being pulled to do all this homesteading stuff. But it's all being dealt with, and that's why I say you can't fear or be afraid of how many people join this movement of like collective coherence. It just ends up happening.
I would say that fear is motivation.
Motivation to what though?
To keep me driven on the path to get us there. To do what my part is supposed to do.
That's fine.
I know it's only a part, and I know I'm only one piece of the puzzle, but
as each of us are.
I need to continue doing that. And if I stop and slow down, I feel off.
I just know you dive down things when you don't understand how they're going to work out. And I don't want you to dive down the idea of like how we're going to get the entire world in collective coherence when in actuality you don't need to worry about it.
I know that I can't ever know how it's really going to happen.
Yeah.
All I know is that I have a place in my role, and what do I need to do in my role to make sure I'm doing my part to get there?
Definitely floating jet bikes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. The hover carts.
And everything has been telling me my whole life, get that free energy device.
Yeah. It's the start.
Just do that. You're done. You're done.
Just get fucking free energy and let's go.
We're good. Now
Yeah.
you can chill the fuck out and just help kind of build the damn thing out. But like otherwise, that's your role. And that's not the only thing that's going to happen. There's going to be other people, other things, but like that's just my role.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, sure. I will always have some fear that we're not going to get there. But that's what keeps me driven.
That's fine. I know being led by fear is a low vibrational path in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like fear is not
competitiveness.
Yeah, okay, as long as it, because the people that I truly see fearing these things, they literally let fear run their life.
For sure.
Every decision they make is led by fear. And it's like,
I let go of that a long
heavy.
time ago.
Okay.
I let go of all of that. And to me, it's like, I'm never in a fearful state. I'm never scared.
Yeah.
I'm never worried. Like, I get worried about certain things, but I'm never like, oh God, we're all going to fucking die and everything. Like, except for maybe that one little time, a brief moment, I was like, man, are the poles going to shift and we're all going to die? Is that fucking weird?
like
yeah, like, oh shit.
But
like,
even if so, like,
these are momentary things. I move on from them in a sense. Like, I just have this knowledge of like, yo, we're heading towards something. We all got to get there. This could be fucking huge. So, man, and I might have a part in it. And I don't know, there's a competitive spirit of like, when I go train for soccer to go be the best athlete, you get in the fucking game afterwards and you got to make decisions in the moments and you can't have fear.
right.
You can't have any of that, dude. You're in
It'll
the
hold you
moment.
back.
Correct. You have to make decisions on the fly as they arrive, and you just have to make sure you're in the best possible position to make a reaction to it. And so, like, it's all about windows. You're just staying in the window. The window will open, the ball will arrive. I got to make a reaction to this, okay? And so, like, fear's gone. It's more of a, like, I'm always after the understanding.
Sure.
And the more I understand, the more I know what needs to suddenly happen. And the more I'm like, man, how is that going to happen? Shit. You know, and I turn that into like externalizing it as like, yeah, I'm worried about that, you know? But like, am I really worried in that sense?
It's hard to tell, I suppose.
And that's totally fair. And that's almost like saying be selfish. We've muddied the waters on the word, and that's just the way of externalizing it. But really I'm saying is like, I'm thinking a lot about that.
I'm curious how this is going to happen.
There it is. I should almost start saying like, yo, I've been thinking a lot about how that probably will go down.
Versus, yeah, because worried is not a good word to use. You know, that whether you are worried or not, you're subconsciously now worried.
Yeah.
You know, I'm afraid. Now you're subconsciously
Or the other
afraid.
person gets that feeling of like, oh, they're worried.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
it's
I
all
may not even
vibration,
be,
dude.
But you are.
It's all
and
fucking
so
vibration.
now people are like, oh shit, I'm now getting worried about that. And I'm like, oh wait, no, I'm not like, actually worried. I'm just it means that like I'm just thinking about it a lot because I don't understand it yet.
Wording is heavy, you know?
Dude, the resonance language has taught me the level and depth at which that problem has come to be. That contextual understanding, definitions, wording, phonetic sounds, all of this is very important. And they have used it to their advantage heavily.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so, like, they do this with words where one word, that's why when people are like, I can't believe you'd say, like, God's an asshole. I'm like, because first off, it's intent, right? It's intent.
Yeah.
So, like, you got to understand the intent in my own brain on what I mean by that. And it's just a phonetic terminology for how I would see that meaning. And, like, I call my friends assholes.
Right.
I'm like, yo, asshole, what up, dude? Don't be an asshole. You know, like,
they go home crying. He called me an asshole.
Like, if I'm going to have this relationship, then I have to be who I am. And so at times I'm like, dude, you're being an asshole, guys. Stop being an asshole. Dude.
Right. Yeah.
But like, I'm not actually, there's no real intent that's like, you are this, an ass with a hole.
Yeah. Well, and for one,
like,
to each their own relationship with God.
There it is.
For
That's
one, like you can't
understand mine. I'm not asking
Exactly.
you to call
You
him an
shouldn't.
asshole. You probably shouldn't because what you think is an asshole and what I think is totally different.
Yeah. I don't think anyone should have the same relationship with God in the first place. Like, have your own.
Correct.
That'd be weird if everyone you're just trying to be like everyone else now?
Yeah.
Have the same exact relationship as
For
everyone
sure.
else?
Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, for sure.
It doesn't make sense.
But words mean things. Sounds mean things to
And
people.
intentions mean everything.
And intentions thing mean more than anything.
Yeah.
That's really, I don't give a shit what words you use. It's how you are intending to use it. So some people can say whatever they want to me. It will never mean anything. Certain people can say certain things with the wrong intent in the wrong moment. And now it's not the same.
Yeah.
You could have said it a lot of different ways, but you said it now, then, and like that.
Yeah, usually feel the intent too.
You can understand the intent in the moment. You
Yeah.
can. There's contextual meaning. This is the problem with all of this, is that there's a context to the whole situation.
Yeah.
That you have to understand the balance in that moment. And if you can't just take it out of context. If you just remove it, because even then I would say that, like, even if you heard the whole interaction, what happened for the days leading up, for the months leading up, for the years leading up? Like, there's more to those people are not arguing over a thought that took place 5 seconds ago. they're fucking arguing or they're having this thing or whatever's going on based on a lot of interactions beforehand that they're all conceptually building up to be this one moment here now. And you can never understand what those two people have going on in their head for why they're interacting in this way.
Right.
Can't do it. Sorry.
No. Especially as an outside perspective. Like, you have no idea.
No, you have no idea.
You have no fucking idea. Jazz, I want to know what your mind and thoughts are on our alignment center that we are in the process of building, I guess you could say. Designing. Great word.
Designing. Yeah.
We're in the process of designing. We have not broken ground yet.
No,
we have not
correct.
secured
Correct.
a location yet. We are in the process of designing said alignment center. And I want to know what's rattling in your head about it. Ooh. So I can ask all the questions. I love asking questions. We all know this.
But first off, we're going to have a main campus, which we will start. And that main campus is almost going to be, I almost feel like it'll be centered around what I would like to be is the Wardenclyffe Tower, which I would really like to be the pyramid.
I was going to say, before we just start using college terms here, let's make sure they don't imagine a college when they're thinking about this. So
totally fair.
First off, what's the visuals looking like?
So when I say campus, I really mean like a eco-village, an area, a spot, a place.
A community?
But like I say campus because in the way that they do a lot of schools and big companies that have a lot of different areas that they're separating the buildings out, they call those campuses.
Right. And I'm okay using the term. I just don't want to confuse people right off the bat.
You were totally right when you said that. I was like, yo, I should probably make people understand what I'm like actually trying to allude to here. Is like, we'll have this main entrance opening to the place that will be the center and the heart, in my opinion, of like the whole outer building of it, because it'll have to expand outward. And to me, you have to kind of build it off of the free energy device that's going to be radiating out and can be harnessed into. And that is going to be kind of at the center. I would like for that to be the pyramid because that's what it should be. That's like a true Wardenclyffe Tower, a true free energy tower.
Will we use the inside of the pyramid?
Yes.
For campus style things and meditation,
for
retuning,
For
realigning?
sure.
Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
This is going to be pretty big, right? Like,
it depends on how big we want it, dude.
I mean, I'm imagining almost pyramidic sized pyramid.
There is a proportional ratio that happens with electricity that once you take the pyramid and you build it, let's just say this big right here. That's literally how big you build it, right?
Yep.
And then the top of it has a certain amount of energy it can get, all right? If you extend it up in the air, then you get more energy, you get more voltage as you go up. Proportionally, you keep going, you'll keep getting more, and it'll keep growing and growing and growing.
But that means the base has to fatten out too, right? You
to support
all
the
of
tower.
A sudden, you just like start,
to support the whole thing, and then like how big it is now is how much energy it can really start pumping, and like there's different designs to this. But ultimately, in the end, the higher up it goes, the more energy you can get, and the more energy you can then produce out.
Whoa!
So it just depends on how big can we and are we willing to go. And they went 400 feet with the major pyramids. I think Tesla went 200 feet, something like that.
I had 200 in my head.
200's a pretty good. That's a really good like hey, I can cover miles.
Especially starting point, right? Like 200 feels
200
pretty.
feet, you can pretty much cover like I would say a 5 to 10 mile radius.
I feel pretty strongly about the 200 feet.
Yeah, and then we would tune it so that energy coming out is actually harmonically like good for you. Not the same frequencies as like our cell towers are being utilized as. And like even I realized the radiation coming off from our power lines and our energy, it's not good either. It's not what so like we would be using specific geometry and specific frequencies that match what we should be actually living under. So we actually live under a blanket of coherent like mental energy too. And you can go power your shit at your house.
Yeah. I mean, all of the things all wrapped up into one, on top of it being an alignment, tuning, and meditation center. I mean, it's going to be, imagine the most glorious meditating spa you could ever conjure up in your head, but then add like 1,000 times more awesomeness to it. Pretty much is what I'm imagining.
Yes.
It's going to have so many teachers and healers and this and that, and just like helping people realign with the universe.
We would have the energy structure at the center.
The full front.
And then we would have a bunch of like geometric pods in some kind of shape, maybe like an octagon around it. You know?
Yeah.
And these pods would be able to then, they would be designed in certain ways.
What do the pods do?
That's depending on the shape. So like the pod could be shaped as like a dodecahedron. And I think that's more for like universal alignment, healing, things like that. They could be an actual like pyramid, like a little baby pyramid. And we don't put, like what you put at the top of it, while those capstones are gone. That becomes an important little, that's how you turn that little bitch on.
Yeah.
You want to turn it on? You put that little bitch at the top, you're turning that shit on, dude.
I was looking into our hematite pyramid, and it seems like we'll want to put silver on top of ours.
Conductive.
Yeah.
Gold, silver, copper. But silver and gold would be...
Gold still works, but it was looking like it was alluding to silver being the better for what we want it to be. And I was like, I wanted gold. Gold and black would look so freaking good. I mean, yeah. But we'll see when we get there. But it seems like it's alluding to silver being better.
We'll have multiple of them.
Multiple of the 200-foot pyramids?
No, well, eventually, yes. But like the start, no, we have one and then we'll have little baby ones.
Okay, yeah.
Because inside there, you are almost protected from the cosmic flow, and now you can actually like do a lot more. You're creating your own environment that is undisturbed from the outside, and now you can do what you want. And you meditate inside your house, you are being bombarded with outside energy pouring in.
Not pure meditation. No. You're fighting against.
So we're gonna need small. This is the master one.
I mean, aren't we going to make our huts pyramidic? Like whatever we end up living in.
I think that depends on the shape you would want. It depends, because like a square, a cube is a holder of energy. It holds energy in it, stores it, battery kind of stuff. So like if you wanted to hold in good energy into your home and have that kind of structure, well then I may all right. Okay. You know? Yeah. And then if you want to have a pyramid where it's like you're kind of like in a healing chamber almost protected, where things flow around you and you're kind of like skipping off the clock a little bit in a sense.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it's hard to explain. Like typically in everything that I keep understanding is like when you put something in a pyramid, it tends to not age as fast. So you probably would want to live in a pyramid, but like, would you have to?
Right.
But like, it could be a sphere. It could be it should be a platonic shape.
Sure.
Let's put it that way. Those are the filters of reality.
I just think it'd be cool having little pyramid huts all around that people live in. And like, I just think that'd be
we for sure will.
Badass, man.
We for sure will.
On top of it, it's going to be right next to a river.
Yes.
And that's going to be awesome on its own.
Yes.
I'm imagining us being able to have some kind of water activities to where we can actually use the river and not just look at it for its glory.
Well, that's another thing the pyramids did over in Giza. They helped irrigate the land with that river and with the water. And so there's things that you can do with the pyramid to help irrigate that land. And not to mention just by the energy in itself being the frequencies that we would want to use, it would help life. So plants would grow better in this environment. Things would be better all around. That's why it says coherent energies, because it's saying like, hey, all living things in this bubble would then be able to be thriving better and more efficiently.
We're just going to have animals flocking to this area. Animals are already in tune. They already know they're going to come to us without us.
They might actually.
And we're going to be like, oh, they think we're so sweet and nice. It's like, no, they actually just sense how good this bubble is, that they just want to be a part of it. Animals know. They know.
They do.
They're very in tune.
They do. We would be more the energy we would be producing out of the tower is more in tune with the Earth's frequency. You know, so like we would be giving what the Earth's naturally giving.
I mean, right.
Wouldn't we want that?
I've been trying to figure out the meat situation. Are we going to supply meat as some of our meals?
Yes.
I understand like wanting and needing it. I believe the way you slaughter your meat matters. The way you intend, the way they're...
You do not capture them in a fucking slavery containment systems and like abuse them their whole life and then just kill them and like chop their heads off at the end. You know where I'm going with that?
Yeah.
You let them have free land and we just kind of somehow find a process to start to... Look, that is the part of life though. This is a natural order of how life kind of operates.
In a way, but also, is it what we've just been taught to know?
How do we take care of the meat problem?
I mean, there is a river. You could just do pescatarian.
You could, but that's still
which
meat,
it is still a living
murdering,
being.
And so like you're not really. You're just being okay with one versus the other.
Right. It's hard to say whether any of it is good or bad. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out.
Is there a process of like they naturally die or you know something like that? Because like I also don't want to like just murder like calves and babies and shit for no fucking reason. And like here's your
venison or is that
veal? You know, it's like no, dude, that's weird. I feel like like
venison is baby deer.
That's what it is. Yes, you're right.
Dude, but you know what I'm saying? If we're trying to realign with the universe, but we're over here killing and eating meat. You know,
I don't know that's not part of the natural order or not. We need the protein definitely helps people.
I agree, but
not everybody, but a lot of people. You
do have to have protein in your body. Protein is a very vital source of your growth,
and you get a ton out of it by fucking firing up the meat.
But also, there are ways of doing it without the meat source. It was just something I've been thinking about and trying to figure out how to go about it because it's a big thing.
All right. Here's where I will go with this.
Okay,
it comes down to intent.
Sure.
All right.
And the blessing of that being
when
you
look, they should have free reign. We don't cage them, whatever. But when we do go to kill one, The intent is because we need to eat you and stay alive.
Yeah,
and
but
this
I
is
don't
for
see
survival.
the need to do so.
Why?
That's the issue. Is I'm now alluding to the idea of the need not being there.
So
anymore.
where does the meat come from, or are you alluding that you can't have it?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of alluding to you can't have it.
I don't think in everything. Look, I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
And I could be too. I don't know. I just know this is going to be a big
It
topic
doesn't
when we get to
seem
it.
like we can survive long term
Without
meat involved
like
in
a
the
meatless
diet.
community.
You can't. Every time they go meatless,
know.
people start to get sick and like weird and shit. And some people's bodies can adapt. They can.
Yeah.
I think some people, most people, it feels like don't. And there are people who actually move to a meat-only diet, meat only, and they actually claim they feel better.
To each their own diet, in my opinion. I think everyone's wired differently.
Why we have to start figuring out how to figure that out.
Yeah,
That's part of the
and-
science of this. But you make a good point, dude. I don't argue with you. I just think that there is a natural order to meat being involved in our diet that we have to accept, and
Okay.
just figuring out how to manage that.
Well, say you're trying to reach full ascension, if you are on that path, you don't have to eat the meat. You decide you don't need the meat in your life. Now you aren't I guess you're still technically a part of it since you're a part of the community, but you're also.
Why do you think that eating the meat keeps you from ascension?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't know that. I just know
And
that
I'm not trying to like say you're wrong. I really don't know either. I'm just questioning.
Buddhists and monks and things, they believe strongly in the no meat diet because it's another life form. But so are plants.
Yeah,
plants, trees,
I
all
was
of the
literally- I was
other
like, well,
things.
what
they're-
isn't?
Exactly. You pick a flower, you're killing that flower. That flower had life. So technically, it's all perspective in a way. And I don't think eating meat is bad. That's not really what I'm saying. I'm just trying to wrap my head around the idea
Yeah,
of
you
where
don't
we're
wanna just go
going.
slaughtering
with this.
animals.
It really
and-
is the intention behind it.
It's the intent. We are not trying to harm the animal. We're trying to survive, and they're doing the same thing. That animal will go kill something else, slaughter it, and then eat it.
I mean, right.
It is a-
It
we
is
have
the
to-
circle of life. It is. But our necessity necessarily, you're saying we need it? I don't
Here's where
necessarily
I have
know.
the problem. You don't get to just slaughter and slaughter and slaughter, and we have extra, like just more of it than we need.
Like hyenas. Hyenas just go out and kill, and it doesn't matter.
And
like we see it in
proportions
Lion
are
King.
important.
Yes.
We don't get a big giant gulp or whatever. Like
Right.
the proportions are now going to be smaller, and you're going to have to eat more in your means. And you don't just get endless amounts of it.
Right.
And like you want to go eat chips, go
Thirds,
over there. You have
fourths,
endless
and
amounts of
fifths.
chips, but you don't get no. We're not just going to go slaughtering to have steaks on standby for you.
Right.
That's not how this works.
And that's
anymore.
more along the lines of having the intention behind it. On top of any time you do kill an animal, the blessing and thanking of that life for our nutrients.
Correct.
I think
Yes.
just the idea of thanking the food that you're consuming in the first place needs to become a thing again. I started doing it.
putting out good vibes, good energy.
It is. You're consuming another life form,
Yeah.
and you're thanking it in the process. It takes 2 seconds to do that. I know a lot of people pray to their food or pray about their food,
Yeah.
but it's more of the intention behind thanking this animal or this piece of lettuce or whatever it is on your plate. Thank you. Not thanking God for the food, thanking the animal that gave its life for your nutrients. Know what I'm saying?
No, I totally agree with you on this. And it's like we almost have to like put some rules in on like you can't just go kill whatever.
Well, I think we'll have someone doing that. We'll have people doing certain things where it's not just going to be you, me, and Karen, John over there going out and
The
slaughtering.
way I look at this is like I'm taking care of energy, guys.
Right, and I think we'll have
I'll
farmers,
help
cooks. We'll have
with the
all
organizations,
of these different people.
But like that's not my role,
Right.
And I won't be good at that. You don't want that
exactly.
from me.
We don't want these people that don't want to do something or aren't good at something to do a role
Be
that
selfish.
they don't. That doesn't make
do
sense.
what you want to do. but you
Exactly. Just
gotta
contribute somehow,
fucking
some
do
way.
it.
Exactly. Yeah,
know?
because we're going to need pottery. We're going to need.
I need everything,
I mean,
dude.
yeah, everything.
Engineers out the fucking wazoo. I just keep thinking about it. I'm like, damn, we're going to need some fucking engineers.
Right.
dude.
Oh, on top of that, all the things that we're going to be able to start creating
Correct.
with free energy and the ideas that are going to come from it and stuff. I mean, yeah, you're going to need, it will eventually become a futuristic style utopia just in that little area, but the expansion of it all is going to eventually go global.
Yes.
Like that's
And
the
the
goal
fun
is
part
to
is like
connect the entire world.
we're going to create the science arm of this so that we can start utilizing alignment to start achieving the things that I know it can do, but I'm not capable of doing it. You know what I'm saying?
The help will be there for sure.
I know energy and I can get us there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit in biology and cosmology and consciousness and like, dude, just all kinds of shit. It's like name it. But those things will start to roll out of that place because you got to get those scientists in with those like-mindedness,
Right.
understand the code that we're working with. Let's start to go build shit now.
Yes.
Let's start figuring out how to make things happen,
Dude, I keep picturing and envisioning this alignment center, and the vision keeps getting bigger and bigger, and I keep seeing more and more of it, and it's
Oh, dude.
absolutely beautiful.
I wish you could see what I have in my head.
I'm sure it's
Because I have built out so many arms of this already in my head of like,
That's so
we
cool.
will probably have this. And we're going to have like, again, this will be the beginning. we'll build out more of them. We're going to have very, very highly sought after private retreat situations, like a temple in the mountains.
Yeah.
That is a total lockdown on who gets to enter into that one. We're going to have different arms of this, extended parts of it. We're going to have the main campus, the main place, like the Moundville location, where everything's going to get like, that's like the big place where everything's going to be headquartered at. But then we're going to have like a private temple area in the mountains that once you have grasped and had a good handle on what you are looking to get to,
different stages of your enlightenment and
once
learning.
you get your grasp down, like I mean, even like you personally,
right,
you're gonna move to this place and build it from the ground up exactly how you want it, so that only the people that are worthy to get in there get there.
That's heavy.
And
But you're right.
you'll leave the original location behind.
I know.
And you'll end up going off. And I don't know where it is yet.
I'm gonna be
because I think
so
you have to-
sad
but like,
when I leave our original
have
location, but I already
You're gonna
know
have
it's
to.
a thing,
Yeah.
and
you just kind of help figure out where it's supposed to be,
But-
and I'll go get it prepped, and then you come in and do your thing.
that's a part of my journey of letting go of all worldly attachments. That is going to be
That's
a
where it's
pretty
gonna end up
heavy part of that. And I think another part of the meat situation was about that worldly attachment. For me, where I see my path going is letting go of worldly attachments, which also means meat, in my opinion. That seems like a worldly attachment.
Is it attachment to eat it or attachment because you think about it that way?
Probably because I think about it that way, but also what you're consuming. I do think to have
what it is, the type, and how you cook it, and like how you intend on it. I think that does matter. Yes, you could be right.
It just feels like a worldly attachment. It feels like something that you don't have to live with. You don't have to have it to survive.
Still gotta kill something.
You do.
Gotta kill something.
You do.
You just gotta pick and choose.
I
what
guess
you want a
less
burger.
likely, a less. It's not even a lesser life form. It's just a different. It doesn't have eyes.
Walking
and a mouth,
down a dark road here.
Yeah,
because
it's
that's
all
your
the same.
human-based thought process behind it.
So at that point,
no life.
do you just have to stop eating?
No, I think you have to accept your role in this school. You have a meat suit. You want to stop doing that? Ascend. Otherwise, you have to eat. If you can find a way not to eat, well, then I'm on your page. I'm all on board. Until then, you got to murder something, and then you start getting into the lines of what's more important.
But I think differently with food, like fruits, veggies, and things. Perhaps they enjoy the consumption. When you're killing an animal, fear consumes them. Whereas a vegetable enjoys it. A flower enjoys being picked because of, yes. Yes, I do.
I'm going to go with this right now.
It's
But something about this, I'm like, that's a weird thing, dude.
Well,
that
do you
they
know-
are just like
do you
designed
know-
then to be eaten.
Do you know what I mean? Where fear enters in animals' entire everything.
But we know plants give off fear vibration. We know they respond to things. We know that they can like want things. You know, when they're thirsty, they give off a vibration for that. When they're scared, they give off a vibration for that. There are seemingly more to plants than we understand.
Oh, definitely.
And
for
that's
sure.
the part where I get to is like, if everything really is what we think it is, it's all the same. We're all made of this. Well, then everything you treat now is equal, and nothing is more or less important. And now it's just a paradigm of the school system. You were put on here as a fucking another animal in this fucking sick ass goddamn game. It's a life is misery. Like I say it all the time, dude. It's another part of the whole idea is like we're almost put here designed to murder all of us. It doesn't matter at what level you are at.
It's our animal instinct in which we were DNA spliced with.
We have to.
It comes through.
Look, if you want to DNA splice me so I don't have to eat anymore,
I know, right?
Love it. Please. Fucking hate food anyways. I only eat it because I have to.
That's true.
And really, in the end, like meat gives you so much more energy and so much less amount. So it's way more efficient for us.
If you know about what we're talking about as to whether eating a plant and vegetables and fruit versus eating an animal and how they are different, please let us know.
I need to know.
I would love to know the studies on this. I haven't looked down the road of what people have studied on these things. It just feels like a fruit and a vegetable, seeing as though they die so quickly, the consumption of them is like fulfilling their purpose, fulfilling the reason they were born.
So then there's a cycle. So then you would find the cycle that they're on. When are they about to die? When is it going to happen anyways? And let's go ahead and go give them a proper ritual and eat them.
And I think that'd be a good way of doing, killing the meat that you're going to consume too, in
Correct.
a way.
That's
right?
exactly really what I'm talking about.
But
in a sense.
I do believe in
you
the
are
death ritual too. I think it's very important.
No,
Instead of
you
just shooting it with a bow and arrow or a gun or whatever it is, however we kill it, the ritual on its deathbed or the way it dies matters. You still have to sever that soul.
Mm-hmm.
It is still a soul in there. You know, I mean, that goes the same for trees, plants, fruits, vegetables. Like it all has a soul. It all has a spirit. all of it does.
Anything is more or less important at this point. So
And
it's hard
it's
for
not.
me to try to prioritize one or the other until I have gained more information to show me otherwise.
Yes, please let us know. We'd
know?
love to know what you know about this topic.
Yeah.
Because I could go on forever and like feeling as though fruits and veggies are easier to consume, better to consume versus a dead animal. But that's, again, could be my human
That's you
written DNA.
feeling emotion for the animal,
Yeah.
but not the plant.
Yeah. And I feel for the plant and I bless the plants and I say thank you
But
every
just
time
not
I
as
eat them.
much as the animal.
No, because it feels like it was grown that its life force was here to be that way.
But
an animal has experiences and I don't know. It does get very like
No, it does. I just like
blurring
challenging
lines,
it. Yeah, I just
you
like
know?
challenging the idea because
Yeah.
you make a really good point here. And like I even feel the same thing. I'm like, who gives a shit about a plant? Go eat the fucking plant, dude. It doesn't have any fucking emotions to it.
Yeah.
But then the spiritual side of me says, well, hold on here. If I'm right and I believe what I believe scientifically and spiritually, that means that they're all equal. We're all equal at that point. you
yeah,
know?
nothing is lesser than the other.
And that's kind of the struggle I come to at that point with the whole idea. And like I get where you're coming from.
It's a conundrum.
It is totally a conundrum.
Because you can't really just get your way out of this conversation in a way. You know, like vegans technically are still consuming life forms.
And plants are on this planet giving us oxygen.
Yes.
They are keeping the heartbeat going. They're keeping life sustained. They're not just made to be eaten. You can't just go eat a tree.
Right, and they're
some
still-
are and some aren't.
They're still having a life experience, you know?
Yes,
They are.
correct. And like, do we just go eat any kind of animal, or do we pick specific ones that we like to eat?
I didn't, right?
Same with trees, and plants, and shit.
Well, there's
we
these
picked them.
there's these cultures that don't eat pig, you know? Like, why don't you eat pig? They're the same as all the other animals, but then they go down the rabbit hole of like why they don't eat the pig, and it's what they consume. They consume anything and everything. And it's
Yeah,
like,
it's like the pork. Pork has this to it.
but then
this and
there's
this and this.
there's a
and
culture that doesn't eat the cow because the cow is mighty and holy and
this is
whatever
where I would
they
say,
believe
like,
the cow is.
hey, we're gonna have everything. You get to decide what you don't want.
We'll have everything that we have on the land. We're not going to outsource like miles
Correct.
in different states to go get you some Wagyu beef or something like that. You know, like
No, but our
which
beef will be
technically our beef will be better than Wagyu.
It
at
would
that
be
point.
better.
Yeah,
It would be. See, I think then at that point we're
The life-
mistreating the meat, and that's really
Exactly.
what you're
It-
getting from it. Is
Yeah.
like
The
you
way-
understand it's not good meat.
The chickens that we have are going to have the best lives they've ever had. And then they get laid to rest.
Everybody
and then we
dies.
get to consume their energy
Correct.
force. I love that concept
Correct.
of consuming the energy force that they leave behind.
It's all about how it's done in the
It
end.
really fucking is,
But
dude.
the idea is there. You are right, and it's one of those things where it's like once we realize we're being inhumane, then we have to stop all of that,
Yeah,
dude. Like,
absolutely.
hold on, wait, what did you just tell me you did? No.
Yeah.
We have to knock that shit off, or we're gonna have to figure out a new situation.
That
here,
that's
you know?
why we're gonna have very particular people in places of quote unquote management of just like overseeing the entire community.
Correct.
you
This is
know?
partly like where I would see like a Slim. Slim
Right.
will be overseeing the people who are growing things, because I trust
Right.
that he'll look at it with a detailed eye and say, "Hold on here,
Right.
we're not doing this right." And we need that. Like
Yes.
people that are strict about it. Like, no, we're not fucking going with this anymore. You don't get to do that. But we have to come to a collective coherence on like how we do this properly. You got to bless the fucking plants you grow along with the animals we're growing. And we got to make sure we're on the right cycles for when we're, because like if they're having a great life, we don't just walk in and just murder them.
You're right.
You know what I'm
it's,
saying?
It's the wrong cycle to be doing.
Correct.
this,
Like
yeah.
that's not their cycle.
That's like
yet.
picking fruit when it's too ripe or too unripe,
Not-
when it's still
yeah,
green
it's
or
still-
whatever.
yeah.
It's still growing. It's still learning, living. You know, it's the wrong time to do it. You know,
Correct.
it's about to fall off the branch and then wither away and die. That's
No,
the
yeah,
time
go-
to harvest.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
called harvest season.
Boom. Got
Yes.
it. There. That's really where I come from. Is like there's a natural cycle to things.
Yes.
And we can't just run from that.
Yeah.
So we have to find out how to abide by the cycle.
That's like venison and veal. That shit is so bad because you're taking that entire life away from that animal. You're
Early.
eating it as a baby
Prematurely.
because you want the delicacy of it. Motherfucker, get out of here.
It's premature.
Way
or it's-
premature.
It's too. It's like
That is
life,
murder.
Yeah, that life needed
Yes.
to keep going.
I wanted to talk about self-defense classes and things. Like as a community, we're not going to have, like we'll have outside worldly things and stuff if we want. But like at the same time, I'm imagining this community not really wanting to go in the outside world. But I had a thought cross my mind of like the Percy Jackson school and stuff. They still had activities, obstacle courses, self-defense and things like that. They learned how to use a sword and bow and arrow. And like they still did all of these things, right? Not necessarily because they were wanting to use it or expected to use it. Percy Jackson was, you know, they knew there were forces out there trying to attack them, kill them or whatever. We're not necessarily planning on that. So will we have these things
Yes.
as such of like self-defense?
You're not worried about self-defense, and like you say, no one's after us.
Right. You know.
I don't believe in that. So we will have an arm of this in the research part where we're trying to figure out how to defend ourselves properly.
Yeah.
And anything we would build, I don't want lethal shit. I'm not trying to attack anything. I'm just trying to defend whatever's coming.
Right.
So like that would be my main objective on a more global idea of the alignment center is like, how do we make a fucking shield around us so that they fucking can't do anything? Shoot a missile and we somehow have a way to block it. Do you know where I'm going with this?
Percy Jackson, like they literally had one of those shields.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
All right, that would be on the more global scale that I'd be working on, honestly. Because, like, yeah, dude, I think that people might actually, when we're fucking trying to pull this off, you don't think people aren't going to, like, that evil arm, the reptilians,
Right.
They're going to come try to do some shit?
Why wouldn't they, right?
I don't trust it.
This is true.
I don't trust it. So I just want to be prepared. But on the other side of this, we'll have, look, anybody wants to come in and teach that, and that's what they love, come build it and teach it.
Yeah.
And so we can't make it happen for you. We have to have it happen by someone coming in to do it. So, like, yeah, I would hope that will come to that, and we will have people who will come in to do that.
I think having quote unquote warriors would be cool, you know, in a way of
Those
like
are
just
Jedis.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really what the Jedi would become.
Yeah, and I don't want to say warrior like they're preparing for battle and always ready for war. I want
No, they're like
just
samurai.
people that like love the idea of being skilled with
It's like a ninja that's trying not to hurt anybody. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, because you're still going to go through the alignment and realigning with the universe, and that means not having the bad intentions of going to kill someone.
Yeah.
So if you're doing all this training and learning how to fight, self-defend, swords, bow and arrows, all this stuff, like you do have to understand that it's not because you're just going out to kill and fight.
No, in fact, what I would want to teach part of this whole thing, I'm just going to go ahead and give it out, actually. So if anybody looks back, they'll know exactly what the intent is.
Yeah.
Is that they will be highly trained fucking ninjas to go get information.
Ooh.
It's not to hurt anybody or touch
Right.
anybody. It's purely to go just get information so we know what is going to happen so that we can just prepare for that.
And if you do need to defend yourself, you will be well equipped to be able to do what you need to do without just brutally murdering them.
Look, if you got to defend yourself, you got to defend yourself.
You do.
So
You
we
have
need
to.
to have the ability. And that's also partly why, like, there are devices that I already know we'll be working on
Cool.
that only certain fucking people will be able to get a hold of.
Right.
Like, really fucking certain people, dude.
It
Like,
makes sense.
You and me only.
We have to be very.
Because those can be some powerful motherfuckers. But in the time that, look, dude, someone comes running in with a gun and starts trying to shoot people, we got to make that, we got to take down that threat real quick. And if we had to, like, I don't want to kill anybody, but if we had to in the moment, or else our people are going to, I'm going to kill you.
I know. Intention behind, right?
Correct.
It's
Like,
always about the intention.
in that moment, the window will open. I'll see what's going on. And if I
Yeah.
feel like, dude, I don't have a choice, I have to fucking kill this person. It's shit.
It's the train with the million people and the train with the one person. Which are you going to choose?
Correct.
Wait, that one person is the love of your life or your family or whatever. But the millions is people you don't know. It's like, yeah, what you going to choose? Which is the better one? But neither is right or wrong. It's
No, it's just whatever you feel is the best intent in the moment.
Yeah.
That is the, you know, like,
which
that's all
would
you
be
can
that
do.
person with the gun coming in and trying to shoot everything
Correct.
up.
Now, the goal is like, we don't
sorry,
let them
man.
in initially
Right.
at all.
That shield would be ideal. The shield would be real nice to have.
Correct.
Because then,
A bubble around
honestly,
us.
if we could even make it to where it's just invisible all the way around, just like the community itself is invisible, and you just run
And
into.
now you know what Iran was telling you when she talks about Galt's Gulch. That's what that is. It was an
Interesting.
invisible bubble of free energy.
Where did she come up with that? Like, where did it?
She even said there was a motor that could run the whole world. Free energy.
Whoa. I think that's
Bitch wrote it the fuck out, dude. It's playing out because we even say like we would need these people to come in and be these roles. That's what the
Right.
whole story is about. It's like these master engineers and shit just started disappearing, and no one knew where they were going, and they were like either dying or just like
Vanishing off the face of the earth.
They just vanished one day, and the whole industry they were holding up just goes with it. Then suddenly, and like the whole economy and the whole fucking thing just starts collapsing on itself. And then she finds out in the end, spoiler alert, that they all were being taken, or not taken, but they were being invited by John Galt to come join him and his free energy environment called Galt's Gulch. And you must enter as a certain frequency, or you don't see it.
Jeez. Will you explain to the people what Iran is and what this book is? Like, why are you speaking of it?
So Atlas Shrugged is the book.
Okay.
And Atlas Shrugged is one of the most famous books now at this point. She wrote it back in like the 50s, the 40s, 60s maybe. She escaped communist USSR, came to America. She talked them into letting her over here somehow, changed her name to Iran.
I ran away.
And then wrote a bunch of philosophical books, The Fountainhead, there's a bunch of them, but the Atlas Shrugged was the tippy top. That was the one that like almost, it's like top two books that like get sold over time.
Whoa.
Number one is the Bible. Number two is Atlas Shrugged.
Really?
It's looked at as like the libertarian Bible. It's this concept of the government is going to hold you down and society is going to crumble because of it. And you need to let go of that.
So why do you keep bringing it up?
Because what we're going through right now and what we've been designing is everything she's been laying out in that book. That book just plays out the story we're on right now.
Whoa.
It was like the prophecy.
You're like, whoa, wait a second. Why does all this feel so real right now? You wrote this when? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, like where did she get all of this from? She just started writing a book, huh?
I don't know. And like everything she says in there is so weird. This guy named John, the whole idea of the book, you'll see tags actually or bumper stickers that who is John Galt. And that's directly from Atlas Shrugged. And even the name of the book, Atlas Shrugged, Atlas was a god of Earth, and he shrugged because he couldn't hold the whole Earth on his back anymore.
Is that the picture of the guy with the Earth on the back?
That is Atlas that's Atlas Shrugged. He has been shrugged by the
strong.
And so he's
muscly.
the god of the world, you know? And so like he's struggling to hold this fucking planet up because it's just being held down.
Whoa.
It's being pulled down by fucking some entity. And she alludes that it's the government, but she needed to symbolize it somehow.
Right. You can't just say reptilians.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
And so like you think you're actually in the past based on the ideas of what you're hearing. You think you're like in the 1800s.
Oh.
In the end, you find out you're like in the year 3000.
Whoa.
They have digressed it. I don't know what year they really were in. I just know you're more in the future. And so at that point, you think this one piece the whole time because they had digressed it there. The powers had kept it from going forward. They had pulled it backwards, actually.
I mean, what does it feel like now?
What's the great reset we keep talking about? This reset thing that keeps happening?
Yeah.
She laid it all out. And John Galt created a motor that was perpetual motion, the energy that could run the world, the motor that run the world, and suddenly he disappeared and it disappeared and no one could figure out where it all went. And everybody just kind of knew it had happened, but that's why they say, who is John Galt? Because it was like this kind of becomes an infamous thing. And then suddenly people start disappearing. And these industry leaders that were leading the way for iron and different industries of trade, blah, 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 they all start disappearing and vanishing just out of thin air, just gone. No one knows where they're gone. Just like John Galt, just gone. And so they just keep happening over and over again until finally John Galt comes to see the main character, Dagny Taggart, and ask her, hey, I see you fighting. He's like, I see what you're doing. You're fucking battling them, but you're never going to win. Just fucking join us. You're not going to win. He even admitted, I've let you do this because I wanted you to see how far it's going to end up going before you realize you cannot win this game. You just need to come to over here with us. Yo, it's a wild story, man.
Sounds very familiar.
Yeah, and then when she wakes up in Galt's Gold, she's like, money's not really a thing here, but we do kind of have it for trade ability, but if you need this, then that person will take care of it. If you need this, that person will take care of it. It's really just like a community where we're going to help each other. And she's like, how do y'all have electricity? He's like, we have free, sustainable energy. Don't you worry about that. We'll take care of it for you. It is what we're fucking doing, dude.
Literally what we're doing.
I'm telling you, man, I read that book 10 years ago. Maybe longer, and it's never gone away. I loved the whole story. To me, it was so fascinating. I was like, "Yo, how cool would this be?"
Yeah, I was about to say, just give it about 10 years, and you could reread it and be like, "Holy shit!"
It's sounding more like a prophecy than it is anything else.
I wonder if she was being channeled while writing it and just didn't know it or did know it. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
But it does sound very prophetic.
It's long as fuck, too. Dude, that book is
Bible.
It's like this fucking thick, dude. It's 3 books in one.
Oh my god!
And it is long, but it's fascinating and a lot of great philosophy and a lot of great shit in there. It even tells you to let go of expectations. Expectations will kill you.
Yeah.
And you need to let go of them.
They do, because expectations, you're holding on to something, a hope of some sort of expectation of how something's going to turn out.
And it won't go that way.
It never does.
And then how are you going to react to that?
Yeah, exactly.
So Alignment Center is so much of all of this, actually. It's so much of this idea that, hey, we'll have free energy, we'll be able to help each other, and we'll be able to get medical advancements and all this stuff. We'll also be able to start doing things in a new lights and new ways and help people in different ways.
Dude.
And
can you imagine the medical advancements we're going to be able to do with all natural resources? People are going to live so much longer.
They will.
Just because of the way they're going to treat their bodies and do things and have healing in place. And I mean, just the meditation and the alignment alone, that does crazy things. But on top of that, you're eating from the earth. You're eating everything being blessed and nurtured and just taken care of. And then it really is
a fully self-sustaining, true sustainability. When I heard about solar and wind and all these new energy, sustainable green energy, no, they're not. In the moment I looked into it, I know electricity. I fucking know electricity. And I understand the concept. So when I went and looked into them, I said, that's not sustainable. What the fuck are y'all talking about? That's actually bullshit. This is all a lie. Holy shit. They're just lying to us. we will be developing the first true sustainable place.
Yep.
One that does not need anything else. It can all be done within. And the energy we're harvesting is purely just science and how you can harness energy from the atmosphere and the earth. Like, we're sitting on a giant generator. We're sitting on one.
Right.
It's got electricity pulsing all the time. Let's fucking utilize
Yeah, you don't have to look anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's
You're
just
not
right there.
That's the other thing is like alignment kept telling me over and over again, energy is not free. There is no such thing as free energy. What we don't understand is it's already there. Already there, being pumped. We're just tapping into that generating system.
Yeah.
Harnessing. So in that sense, it's free, but the earth has to pay for it. The earth has to be here pumping.
Exactly. Yeah,
We need to keep it pumping because it's keeping us and we'll keep it. So it's a cycle between the two of us doing this. So we can harness electricity from it. Yes, absolutely. It's not free in the physics sense. It's not free.
Right. No, it is still being taken from or given from the planet.
Something has to be giving it, right?
Yeah, there's always a give and take.
Now, in a monetary sense, yes, it is free.
It does not take money.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess other than to like build it, but like even then, does that really take money or does it take people to just do it?
People to just do it, I would say.
And that's not really necessarily money. That's something we've created through society that says you have to have money to go pay someone to do that.
I would say the biggest thing would be quarrying the pyramid materials.
That's the hard part I haven't been able to really understand.
Right.
Yet.
That will be someone just falls into our lap.
We're gonna have to find some people who really are masters of this shit.
I don't think we have to find them. They fall into our life. Just
I guess in a sense
it will.
We're gonna have to have them.
Yes.
Or we cannot do this.
Yes.
You know, well, there's a bunch of people we have to have, but that's one I really don't even understand yet.
Well, and that's what I'm
we're
saying.
gonna need
Like,
some real help there.
a lot of this stuff is just going to fall into place, just as this podcast did on its own. Like, it just fell into our lap.
I believe that. I do.
You
I
know,
believe that. I really do.
That's all I keep being told. They just keep reminding me, stop. Don't worry about how to do these things, how it's going to happen, or how you're going to have the money to quarry all this stuff. Like, it just happens.
I just keep trying to learn so that I'm ready when the day comes.
That's
it's
good.
like preparing for the game.
Sure. Yeah.
Does that
you're
make
always
sense?
you're always preparing for the game.
Yeah, I
aren't
gotta
you?
like keep jogging every day, man. You gotta get out there and you gotta run, or else you won't be able to take care of the marathon.
I get it. I totally get it.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's that competitive spirit in me. I've done it my whole life. I've got to train. Dude, we're in crunch time, damn
Right.
it.
There's a reason you played soccer for as long as you did. It taught you a lot of fundamental things that you're putting into place with this.
It taught me how to push myself.
Yeah.
How to dedicate to the cause. How to work with a team.
I believe it.
How you can't do everything on your own.
Yeah.
But you have a massive role. And if you don't do your role, then everybody else can't do their role.
Did I ever tell you that Metatron told me I have to learn to work with people? Like, that was before this podcast.
You hinted to this.
This was earlier on. I probably said it, but before this podcast started, I was being told over and over that I have to learn to work with people, because every time I get in bed with someone and start working with them, it always turns sideways because it's never aligned. They're always like trying to control the narrative and how I do things. I'm like, I don't know how to let go of that. But he kept saying, you have to learn to work with people. You have to learn to work with people. And I let it all fall away. And
we work well together.
We do.
Like, you know,
No,
like
absolutely.
I feel like you give and give, or we both do this pull and give or whatever. Like we both give to some things and both are stern about some things. That's what it should be.
I've just never been good at working with others, man. Like I always look at, I don't know why.
Well, I know why. It's because it's hard to work with a lot of people because they do only want it their way. And we all have roles. And if we can learn that, like, hey, you're good at one thing and I'm good at another thing, and let's just play our role.
Yeah. Stop trying to overstep just because you want to have control.
Dude, what you do, I don't want to fuck with that.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you do that,
but
dude.
But so many other people would, just to have that say and to have that feeling of control. I think these people were put in my lives for a reason.
But you feel that and understand it.
Yeah. Just as you went to film school to feel it and understand it.
Because, like, I truly grasp what you do.
Right.
I watched it. I was a part of it. I tried to do it. You know, it's like I really get it. And at this point, I'm like, when I see it and I understand, I'm like, whoa. And this is a lot about what the Alignment Center will embody is that, like, hey, that person's really good at that. So until you show me you're just as good at that, please stop doing this shit.
Yeah. You don't need to try to take control over that.
And if y'all can't work well together, well, that's not your thing. Get the fuck out.
Right.
You know, like, go make your own thing.
Yeah,
go do your own
find out what else you're better at. What else you're going to do. Like,
you know, like, it's just one of those things to me where if people aren't going to work together, well, then they can't be a part of this.
Cohesive working environment.
We all are good at shit. And I get we're cross-domain good at things. But at some point, you kind of have to just concede. Even if you believe in the end you're fucking right, just concede to the other person because it doesn't matter whether you're right or wrong in the end. It doesn't. Who fucking gives a shit?
Right.
That's their thing. And for your thing, you can do what you want. You know, like, but everybody's like, it's my. I contributed one thing.
Yeah.
It's now my thing.
It is now mine.
No, it's not. Did you put in the time and the effort and the work? Did you really build it out? Did you really spend the time doing all this shit? No, you didn't. Well, then, no. You're no more than a commenter on TikTok.
This is true. I wanted to ask about activities and things that you see happening at the Alignment Center. Because, it's all going to be pretty spiritually focused on, I guess, realigning with the universe and tuning and stuff. But I also know there's going to be big community style events and things that will take place. I almost see every night at dinner, after dinner, singing, dancing, fires, and basically just things you would imagine that you've always wanted to happen, but we live in cities and things so we can't have that happen. But I imagine these celebrations for like a cycle ending. Every day is a new cycle. It feels like we do things like that, but also during the day of like activities and things that would happen, or I don't know. I see so many things.
Community events are huge to me.
I think so.
So like even doing small things like, I guess there's a place called, go ahead.
What do we do now at the end of every day? We sit down and watch TV.
Yeah. That's
literally all we do.
Yeah, no,
I want to come back to the community events of coming together. Like at the end of the day, we get to talk about what all we went through, what all we did, all the learning, healing, and
this is why I want a center place. Like I've always loved a little downtown that's not really where cars go, and it's all walkable, very enclosed, and this gets everybody more in together, community. And then at that point, I would want to have. I love when I go to Georgia randomly to go to this place called Woodstock, where I have family that lives there, and like their town has one downtown strip, this little one main street, and all the shit's there, and they do all kinds of events and little. The big thing we're gonna end up getting into is, damn it, now I can't think about it. We're downtown at they do it on like Saturday mornings.
Oh, hold on. I think the super. No, I was gonna say the supermarket.
Dude, it's right there, man.
Don't worry, I'll cut this piece out. No one needs to hear this shit anyways.
Farmer's market.
Yes, the farmer's market would be awesome.
We're going to have farmer's markets all the time. Every morning, we have a farmer's market. Every fucking morning, pretty much. You can go and pick up some fresh shit and blah, blah, blah for your day.
I'm almost imagining you not even needing to cook. But I do want the ability to be able to cook.
And you don't have to. People can provide things and you can go pick them up and stuff like that.
Because chefs will still want to be chefs. Cooks, they have passion for it, but they also don't make a lot of money. So like these people will still want to cook. So I'm imagining we'll have cooks and chefs and things. But also I do want the ability to have farmers markets and communal places like that where you go and pick up.
Restaurants. You can still have these things. Bars. All that can still exist, and I want a central place where everybody is kind of like that's the entertainment district per se.
Yeah.
Where that's kind of where we isolate all like, hey, we shouldn't have a restaurant over there, and then like a mile over there, and then like you know what I'm saying? Like everything should kind of be condensed.
Yeah, because then you're separating everyone. Just put it all in one little spot, so that's where everyone.
It all kind of gathers there. Now you have nightly fucking festivals where you all play a fucking movie or something.
You brought up drinking and bars. I've got really negative feelings towards this.
Okay.
Because of what alcohol does to the psyche and the mental and the growth in which you're trying to grow in your spiritual. I don't know, man. It turns people angry if they drink too much. It just does things to your body and holds you down in your spiritual awakening, for one. I mean, I don't know.
Back and forth. I don't ever get angry. In fact, I get
one of the few.
Super fucking lovey-dovey.
Well, of course, I did too. Like a lot of people do it the first couple drinks.
Where I say again, it matters about who you are and your mentality when you enter. I'm not saying no to you by any means.
Well, and I'm not saying no to alcohol in general, but I just know that.
No, like at your house, you want to have a drink,
it feels,
whatever. But like having a bar.
It just does things. You know what I'm saying? It does things, bar fights and people. I know the energy will be different there. I mean, I'm not going to. I don't want to.
But do you ever drink?
No.
No? Oh, interesting.
No. Did you not know that?
I kind of didn't know. I knew you didn't do it really at all, but I thought maybe you have a drink a random time or something like that.
No.
You know?
Since 2022, and it's the best decision I've ever made. And that's why I don't want to allow it to just be around all the time for people to consume, because they won't have to pay for it. They just go and get it. Shit. Now you have hops. I don't know. There's just so many things that'll go.
Well, those people are going to want to create great beers and really enjoy the taste of them. And it's a culture. And there's
non-alcoholic beers.
And there's a lot of. I don't argue because I know exactly what you're talking about. The line and the problem that I have in my head with the whole idea is like, now you're impeding on like a kind of a free society idea. And now we're trying to tell you just, well, there's certain things you can't do.
You don't have to live here.
No,
technically,
you don't.
Is my thought is like, I think people are going to come for weeks at a time, months at a time. Like we'll still have a retreat style.
Yeah.
But then the people that live there are the community that keeps it running and stuff. I know a lot of people still going to want to drink and still drink. I just know what happens from it.
When I say a bar, I don't think we design these things like a traditional bar either.
No.
I've never really seen. They're like casual. They're like coffee shops.
Yeah.
They're more like gathering places to just hang out and have a drink and talk. You know, it's like a lot of great conversations between people happen over a drink or two because you loosen up a little bit and you start just having more of an open conversation. And this can happen. Look, man, everything has a dark side.
It does.
All of them. And so I struggled to say, well, okay, well, that's the line. Well, is that the line? Or are we now going to just allow that to become a standard that which we're going to build off of because now we like hold this weird, well, we did it for that.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't we do it for this too? You have to hold like this like universal standard. Like you do whatever the fuck you want. But there is a fucking cause here. We're all on the same path. So you go over there and you start doing that drinking shit. You're going to disrupt all of this. We're just going to boot your ass out of this fucking thing.
I don't want to have to boot a community member out that's been there for a year or two and just be like, you just started a fight, get out of here. I know there will be like some kind of...
It all depends.
I know. And
it all depends.
This isn't something that we are going to decide on now. No. I just wanted to bring it up because you said bars. I was like, you know what? I've been thinking about this because it's going to be a big topic. Same as the meat thing. There's a lot of these things when you're going through the spiritual journey, but it also, the discipline is important too.
These are great questions.
So if you're trying to get somewhere in your spiritual journey, you have to have discipline. It can't be discipline for you. Therefore, if you have meat, bars, all these things, all these worldly attachments, there's your discipline. Step away from the worldly attachment. You can still be a part of it if you want. You don't have to drink or consume the meat or whatever it is that you feel
you don't have to do any
drawn to not do.
Discipline yourself.
Discipline is it's such a vital part of your journey.
This is why I struggle with taking alcohol as just pretend away in a sense of becoming like, yo,
you make it perfect for everyone and everything. You're like,
it is about you and your journey. And if you're not capable of this, well, then you're not capable of living in this type of society. Go back and go get a job.
Yeah, go back.
But that's not what we're doing here. And if you can't do that, well, then you're going to be the one weird guy trying to start fights every time. And we're all going to look at you like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? And you'll just like fall into it because you'll just realize like, yo, that didn't fly here.
Right.
People don't just get trashed and fucking go, party!
I also don't believe you can join the community without having gone through a month or 2 months or 6 months of just being a part of the retreat.
You don't really get in like the whole thing unless you've kind of proven yourself.
I think so.
And this is what John Galt did, dude. He went around and he handpicked the original people.
Yeah.
Handpicked them. And then he was willing to open it up, but they don't even allude to that. But he even like handpicked. It's very particular when you're building it out.
I think so too.
Who those top heads of how we're going to build out each little industry, that becomes important now.
Right.
You know? And so like, no, I don't want just a normal type of bar actually, because that insinuates different geometry, visuals. These things matter to me. So now how we were to design a bar, it's going to be more like a coffee shop probably. And they're going to be kind of blending together where you kind of go as one place and we don't allow that shit anymore. We don't even give you the environmental space that feels like you need to have some crazy bar time.
Yeah. Crazy rap music, booty jiggling music.
We probably won't even have a bar.
Yeah.
It'll just be, we serve alcohol here. Yes.
Yeah, not like...
But we're not standing behind a bar with a bunch of alcohol all over us. You know
I do think, I do think everything that we do is going to be so different than the mainstream and how they do it. It really is. Everything's going to look differently, feel differently. It's not going to have the same intentions behind it in the first place. And the fact that the people in the community will have to have been vetted of some kind of way. They'll have to go through the process of becoming a part of the community.
Especially if you want to live here
Especially
full-time.
living here full-time, yes. You will have to prove yourself.
If you come on retreat, you have to pretty much agree and sign to it that you are subject to be kicked out at any moment if you were to cause any of these X, Y, and Zs.
Yeah, pretty much.
You do any of this shit, to our discretion, you have to leave. You have no say in this. End of story. I'll even hand you your money back. Get the fuck out of here.
Right.
If it was the money involved.
Well, I was about to say, I don't know. That's the biggest part is like, it won't technically we won't be taking their money.
I don't think I want money. I'll require something from you as you are here.
Something,
You must contribute to our society if you are to come here.
I think everyone that is there will have to contribute.
That's your cost. Your cost is labor.
Dude.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Actually,
I don't know what that labor means. I just know that you have to contribute to our society while you're here or get the fuck out.
So you know how the homeless thing is a really big issue, right? I was driving a couple of weeks ago and I saw trash on the side of the road. And then I had a homeless guy pop in my head just out of nowhere. I've never thought about the homeless issue, if you want to call it. what I know a lot of people do, they think about how they can cure and help all of the homeless people out there, because it's a big thing, and it sucks that it's even a thing. But the idea I had in my head was allowing them to live there. Yeah, or have like a section for them or something, because like they view life differently. They've lived on the streets. They've had to do this to survive and blah, blah, blah. They don't trust a whole lot of people. And, all these things you have to consider. You can't just like let them live in your community with everyone else right off the bat. But for their communal attributions or like helping us or giving to the community could be going around and cleaning up trash. We could have a citywide or a statewide trash service, not just for our little community, but for the entire state that the retreat is in, to where they go and help clean up the city, help clean up the state. It seemed like an interesting, cool way of letting or giving them a place to go and live, because they won't need to make money there. They'll just need to contribute to the community. What I would want to do is like take one in at a time at the start. Not like a big group of them. No, right. That's a lot. They're different kinds of people on the streets,
When they're in groups like that, then they'll start to fall back into those mentalities together as a coherent group. And so like I would want to do one and integrate them in. And then one, integrate them in.
Right.
And just kind of keep doing this until you have enough people where you can do 2 or 3 at a time. Almost kind of keep them separated. Hey, but once you come in, you will see how everybody's doing things. And everything will be very like, yo, this is the way it's done.
Right.
And it'll feel very weird to people because it'll be very free, but very like disciplined.
It has to be, or it just runs amok and chaotic.
You can't just go have orgies everywhere, guys. That's not how this shit works.
It's not what this is about. Yeah, it's going within, like the entire idea of this community is
we have to create a society that is capable of sustaining itself.
Self-sustaining.
That takes discipline.
It does.
Takes work to some degree. And then you get to do whatever you want. If you contribute your little time, you may only have to work like 3 hours a fucking week sometimes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like this life may be totally different, but like you do have to continue working to some degree.
And not just in the community, but on yourself. The idea is self-reflection and going within. This entire community is built to discover who you truly are.
This is the community side of it. There will be the school.
Because it's a whole Jedi temple. It's a whole Jedi learning training center. It's, of course, the smaller version, like the beginner's version.
Yes, correct.
But exactly.
But you can just come live in the society, or you can participate in the school.
I think both, dude. You can't live in the community without participating in this. That's the part of this in my head. It
is, and that's what the beauty of it is to me. Is that hey, we'll let you come in. You don't get first off, you can't live here unless you're part of that shit. You get to retreat here
because that's not collective coherence.
Correct. If you're retreating here, then you don't have to go be part of the school because you will inherently see what's going on and you'll want to or you won't.
I was thinking the retreat was for the school. Like people come to attend the school and then they see everything else going on.
I don't see why they can't. I'm just saying that if you
what would they retreat here to the community for?
Just to understand it.
I mean,
to see what the fuck is going on over there.
But I think that would also go along with being shown what happens in the retreat, the meditation center, the alignment center, and all that. Like, I think it has to be a part of it. You can't have one without the other, in my opinion. It's one big collective coherence.
Do you force them to go and do courses or classes?
No, you force them to go in and see everything and have it explained to them what it is. I don't think necessarily forcing someone that knows nothing about meditation and spirituality. You have to do a tour.
You have to do a tour
because
where we show you everything.
One without the other does not exist.
That's fair because then we can kind of show you what we're doing here. Here's what's going on, and here's how the life is supposed to be working. And if you want to be here, this is what you need to do.
Because in my head, in my opinion, the goal is self-reflection and going within. The community comes along with it because we're on the same page. We're not going to want to leave. Is what it is. Like that. I will not want to leave. Therefore, we have to have a community to self-sustain itself while now going and reflecting and going within and having all of these things.
Well, you'll be able to do that freely. You want to go do that at 1 a.m. or 1 p.m., you'll have a place to go do that. You'll have areas. And then it's about creating the guides and the information so that when you're walking up to a pyramid that is a little temple for you to go into and privately do whatever you want in. And at that point, it's like when you're in there or you're going in there, you need to have the ability to understand what that pyramid's for and why you shouldn't go in the dodecahedron instead.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Exactly. You need to have the knowledge.
Correct. And so you don't just get access to anything without first understanding, or we have a way to maybe make some like really like gentle ones for the newbies that help guide them through things like, hey, you're at a pyramid, this is what it's going to do for you, we're going to guide you through a meditation.
I was actually thinking about it a couple of weeks ago as when someone signs up for it, especially someone that's never been, but multiple times. I don't know how many times you have to do this before you don't have an instructor and a teacher or whatever guiding your way. So it's basically like a guided retreat where you have a teacher and they lead the way along your week that you're there, or your month that you're there, or your 6 months that you're there. You have these people guiding you, showing you how to do these things, especially for beginners. Like we can't just let them roam about and hope we think they know what they're doing. No, they're not going to know what they're doing. They're not going to know any of this stuff. So we'll have almost like a course. You'll take a course, and then you come back, you can take another course, and you come back, you take another course, and you're just learning and growing, and eventually you.
What about the people eventually who don't really care so much about going within the meditation side of things and all that? They just want to be part of a more coherent society that are acting in these ways and are getting back.
I don't see it being. I think it's one of the same, dude. I don't, because you can't have collective coherence if you're not going within, dude. It doesn't work, because then you have people with emotions unchecked. Unchecked emotions creates violence.
I guess in my head, I think you're right.
Once you dive down the spirituality road, dude, you'll see things in ways that you're like, oh shit, that.
No, I get it. I do. The problem that I have is, though, it's like I'm trying to bridge. I'm always trying to think about ways to bridge this gap.
This is true.
I'm thinking to myself, like, some people aren't very spiritual, but they are very good people that are there on the spiritual level, but they're just not spiritual.
Yeah.
And so if we could get them in, let them just live in the society, but just be here, and you kind of get contained into the disciplines yourself. Naturally, you are a weird vibration inside of our coherent bubble. We're going to harmonize you.
I'm sure.
We're going to harmonize you, and you're going to naturally
probably too.
And you're going to naturally open up and see and be like, yo, okay, I do want to go down that road. And I'm trying to create an environment for those people too, that are allowed to come in and not feel like they have to go down that road, so they can just open up to the idea. We're just opening it up. And they may come back 2 or 3 years later and be like, now I'm ready.
Well, okay.
You know, like that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Explain how I don't think they can live there.
No, they can't live there.
That's okay.
No, they're retreat people only. These are retreat people only. They come in just to kind of live for a second and get the fuck out.
I thought you were saying that you can just come and live there. No, that doesn't work.
No. If you want to be a permanent resident, you have to now go through our fucking shit. Yeah, no, for sure. Because if those people do come in, we have to have our shit locked down.
Well, right.
Everybody has to be on the same page so they fucking understand that shit's here. It's like a fucking leech.
When you start having too many vibrations that aren't coherent, it starts going off the
and
rails,
once we have enough people and enough of it grown, I think then you can start to integrate small amounts in that direction for short periods of time. Hey, you can come here for a week or a month or whatever, but like a small period, you get to come here, you get to live in our society, come integrate in and see it. And I think what will happen is that people will just fall into the culture. After 3 days, they'll be like, dude, I just start doing these things because that's what people do here.
Well, it's just going to feel better in the first place.
And I want to give people that feeling without feeling like they have to go. But you're right. No permanent fucking residence. No.
I do think they should be able to come and experience it. That's fine.
And now you get vetted. You get vetted.
That, and they do have to go through the tour and be shown of this entire process and everything that we're actually doing for going within and spiritual journey and stuff.
Yeah. Now, how do you deal with like police? You shouldn't have to have it, but like, do you just not have it?
They're just security people, those warriors we were talking about.
Like they're part of, okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Like it's just the people that do care enough about security.
Yes. Because
people are people,
Man, I get concerned about it. It's like, even though I feel like we're going to do our best to allow it to where it doesn't need to be there, that is naive to believe it can't.
Right. Because if you like someone and someone else likes that someone, and then the girl chooses or the guy chooses,
bingo,
that other person's going to get butthurt. But I'd like to think we're in a state, since everyone's going through the
process,
the alignment center. Yes. Yeah. Everyone understands a little bit differently, and their emotions are so much more in check than, oh my God, you're a bitch, I'm going to fight you now. Like, no, it's going to be different. You're going to look at it different. Honestly, relationships are going to be completely different at that point. Yeah. Like the love of your life isn't going to exist anymore. The marriage situation isn't going to exist anymore. You're not going to sit there and be like, I'm going to get married to this person for the rest of my life. Like it's going to be a whole different world of looking at things. When you start going down that journey anyways, like you stop caring for things like that a lot of the time. Not everyone and not all the time, but it stops becoming your main goal, because that's everyone's main goal, is to find that one, start a family, and then be done and watch TV for the rest of your life. Like that is the goal right now. And it's just not a good goal to live by in my head, but that's what they teach us to do. Find that fucking person and marry them at 20 years old. Now have a bunch of kids.
And you're done.
Yeah. I've succeeded at life. I'm now 21 years old and I have succeeded.
you have to go through that like 5 more times. But hey,
good
you're
luck.
done. You're done.
You're done for now.
You're done.
Just until you got to do it all over again.
I agree. And this will all start to work itself out. We'll start to narrow this down. We'll have people come in and help us formalize a lot of this stuff. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, there's whole teams that's going to be
But like,
built.
it's good that we start thinking about it. It's good that we start asking those questions, making sure that we're doing the right things at the start.
Yeah.
And that we don't fuck this up.
That's why I wanted this episode to happen, because we haven't really talked about it together. I just know we both have had thoughts about it and things.
I think we're on the same page. It's just kind of we may have more concerns or less concerns in different areas.
Right.
More understanding, less understanding in certain areas, and then just not in sync yet on certain things that we probably just haven't thought of together.
Right. We haven't talked about it.
I didn't think a whole lot about people living there versus the retreating part. I was like, oh, you know what? That's a really good point that that will happen. I guess I thought about it, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And then you made me really realize well, that actually does become a problem. If you allow that to just get out of hand, you can't do that.
Then it just turns into another.
Like, God damn it.
Yeah.
But you're right. And these are all the things we have to start thinking about. But I don't know. To me, it's like that is where I do feel it all just start to work itself out. We'll all understand.
It will. It really will, especially when we're all vibrating at the same frequency.
Yes.
It really does change the way you look at the world and everything in it.
When you walk into a place and everybody's on the same frequency, you're naturally going to start tuning to it, or you're going to get booted out of it.
The frequency will boot you out, not necessarily like us being like, yeah, you gotta go, man. You just won't be able to.
You're gonna feel bad and gross and not want to be there.
Yeah,
and you're like, ugh.
You either tune with it or exactly.
And we're gonna be like, well, you suck.
Start peacocking.
Yeah, come on.
Jesus Christ! If you enjoy this kind of content, want to see more, please follow along. We would love it. Chaz would love it as he's holding this beautiful crystal in the air. We are all over the place right now.
No.
But very aligned with everything that we're doing.
So aligned.
Chaz, would you like to say anything?
Damn it, I don't know. You put me on the air right there.
I've never done it before.
And I'm like, shit, I wasn't prepared. I don't know what to say. I would like to say that we're going to have to make this happen. And if anybody out there is trying to do the same shit, contact us, because we want to talk to you too. We got a lot of people we need to help us out.
Our email is theawakeningpodshow@gmail.com. Reach out to us. We've got it. We read it. We look at it.
I haven't today.
I haven't either.
Whoops.
This is Awakening 101.
Wake up.
Wake the fuck up.
It's not a bad episode, actually. We talked deep into some shit. I feel like I didn't think we were going to even get to.
It's funny. I didn't realize that was the Alignment Center episode until we started talking about it. And I was like, that's what this is.
Yeah,
done.
we were already talking about it.
I made it happen after that. I was like, all right, that's what this is.
Yeah, we just kind of moved into it officially.
I love it. It was great. Let's do the intro. Welcome to Awakening 101.